Games Workshop have announced the squats are coming to Warhammer 40k, and they're gonna screw them up. Yesterday, I made an April Fool's joke that this channel was becoming a Frasier merch review channel, because it was April Fool's Day. Games Workshop made a joke that squats are returning, and then today they announced that they are in fact returning, because Games Workshop doesn't know what satire or jokes are, as evidenced by the fact that Warhammer 40k still has Space Marines being called heroes in all the Warhammer community posts. Loving that satire! So, squats are here. This is a squat. Or, as Games Workshop are now calling them, the League of Votan. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger copyrighted squats in the 60s. Now they're public domain. Games Workshop don't like public domain. So yes, that's right, Warhammer 40k is getting its 19th army. Exactly what it needed. Oh god. Don't worry, Tyranids. I'm sure you'll get some new sculpts at some stage. Just move over. The dwarf boys need theirs first. It's kind of funny to me, Tyranids originally ate the squats, but now squats, I guess, Games Workshop project, they're gonna sell better. Wonder what the excuse for getting rid of the Tyranids will be. Oh, ever since we had those dwarfs, I haven't felt so good. And I would love to be one of those content creators who is very likely creating dozens of new videos now all about the squats. Oh, I wonder what their weapons will be. Oh, I wonder what their lore is. Isn't this crazy? Let the hype begin. And I truly wish I could do that. Seriously, I would love to be hyped. Just as Games Workshop would love me to be hyped as well. Come on, produce the content, Discourse. Tweet the picture. Tweet the picture. Seriously, I would actually love to gush over a new army and speculate about the design philosophy that inspired them. I really would, I truly would. But sadly, I must be the bearer of bad news. I must be the purveyor of misery. I must become the anti-hype. You may call me Cassandra. I come to you now with a revelation. Games Workshop, everything they touch, it turns to shit. At least these days, as far as I can tell. At the back of our minds, we all know this, right? We've all got this primordial voice telling us this. That's probably the superego or it or something. I can't be the only one concerned about a new army in the game, right? We are in a new era of monetization, and the squats will therefore look like an army of miniatures from their time, from their historical context. And we live in the now, baby, not the 90s. There'll be no mohawks and bikes for us. So put your wallet away and come with me on a journey. A journey into why I'm not excited for the squats and how they're probably going to get ruined by Games Workshop. Quick caveat, I hope that none of this is true. I would actually like them to be good. Seriously. So firstly, all we know right now about the squats, the League of Votan, are their aesthetics. And I'm not sold. I played far too much StarCraft when I was younger, and these new squats look a lot like knockoff Terrans, with much less character. And that's saying something. Terrans were knockoff Space Marines. We're like full circle now. But where's the cigar? Where's the mohawk, you know? The punk attitude that the squats used to have. Right now, they feel firmly modern. More like a unit from modern NASA mixed with the flak jacket of a Kyrian troop. And they're armed with nothing distinctly Warhammer. And this wasn't inevitable. Games Workshop have been turning out some pretty sweet designs in the last decade. Take the Gene Stealer cults, for example, who are probably the best army that Games Workshop have ever created, in terms of aesthetics. I will fight you on this. Or the Admech, who looked incredible. They were suitably Geiger-esque. But the design direction that I see with this League of Votan, I'm not excited. And I think part of the problem is that really, they should have looked a lot more like the way the Admech look right now. The Votan design seems to be too clean. There's nothing about them that excites me. Plus, where the hell are my clear plastic helmets that fog up the moment you apply glue to the bottom of them? Come on, Games Workshop, give me my clear plastic helmets, you cowards! And I believe that the League of Votan are gonna suffer from the exact same problems that the Gene Stealer cult faction suffers from. 2 words! Character bloat. The Gene Stealer cult faction only actually consists of like 3 units. You got your guys with the guns, you got your sort of slightly alien hybrid dudes, you've got your big strong guys, and you got like a couple of bikes, a fast car, and like a truck. But aside from those, it's just an endless cascade of single model units. Oh, we need a general character. Okay, that's fair. We'll call him the Primus. Oh, we need a psyker as well. Oh, yeah, of course, Magus. Oh, and we need a sneaky assassin. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense for an insurgency. Oh, and we need someone to carry the flag. They're all psychically linked, but sure, we can fit something. Oh, we need a tactician guy. Well, we've already got the general, and this is starting to feel a little bit unsilly. Oh, and we need a bodyguard unit. Do we? Oh, and a gunslinger. A gunslinger would be cool. Right, but that feels very... DJ. We need a DJ. Do we? Do we? Biker sniper. Now you're just making stuff up. Bomb woman. And that's basically the entire Gene Stealer cult faction. I'm really concerned that the exact same fate will be visited upon the League of Votan. Individual character models are incredibly cheap to make. Putting aside the fact that the sprues are so much smaller and often come with zero customization, the actual design costs of creating these models are so much cheaper than units. Than squads of units. You can basically put in the same amount of work that you would have done to create a single squad of varied infantry and get out of that an entire army. Cut costs, gotta love it. And not only that, but Games Workshop have constructed a business model where they can sell those individual infantry models for so much more. Why build squads of infantry that you're gonna sell for like $45 when you could sell a single model for 35 bucks? Now that's just value. The League of Votan is probably gonna consist of what? We're probably gonna get some sort of special engineer, maybe a special miner guy armed with some power picks, flamethrower dude, maybe, I guess that could be cool. Another DJ, because I don't know, the clan of this makes no sense either. Oh, how about a moonsuit guy who's in the type of robot that Ripley's in during Alien, and he goes and they fight. Oh, a brewer guy who distributes beers to the troops and raises morale. And how about a barber unit? Why not? Who trims and sculpts the beards of the soldiery. There we go. That's great. We've got a bunch of new units now. It feels like a fully fleshed out faction. And all of those individual models will be very expensive. I remember the time when they used to be called a command squad. And I really hope this isn't the case, but I heavily suspect it will be. And I also think that this army is going to be aimed at new players, which is really good. I like that about the squats. The plain aesthetic sort of gives me that impression, but also the fact that they're basically space dwarves. Dwarves have traditionally had very forgiving gameplay. The base stats of these units will likely be that they're pretty slow, pretty tough, pretty good at both shooting and melee, pretty well armored, and extremely forgiving to play. Basically, they're Space Marines. Before Space Marines became packed with so much junk that they were just impossible for new players to get a grip on. Which inevitably will, if these guys do become successful. Probably these guys are gonna actually have similar stats to the Firstborn. Just please, please Games Workshop, don't load them up with the same dozens and dozens of stratagems that you've loaded up every other faction with. If these guys truly are going to be designed for new players, don't indulge yourselves on this one, okay? Just give them the only 3 stratagems the people are gonna use anyway. Then sure, we'll have an easy to play, jack of all trades, master of none army. That's kinda good. But boy, won't that be kinda hard to balance. Ugh. Games Workshop, balance, those are 2 words you do not want in the same sentence. See, we now get to play the real game of Warhammer 40k. Will the next army be overpowered or completely useless? It's a fun game, you get to play it pretty often these days. See, Games Workshop, they approach balance the same way that Charlie Sheen approaches restraint. So needless to say, I don't have faith in the GW balance team at the best of times. And let me tell you, I'm concerned about how they're gonna slot an entirely new army into this game. My money is on haphazard at best. And let's be honest, Warhammer 40k didn't exactly need another army with more books and more bespoke rules. It's not exactly been crying out for that. And this has meant that I'm finding it incredibly hard to get excited for these miniatures. I get that lots of people just want to paint them, but I want to play the game. And I want the game to be good. This is just where I am with Games Workshop products now. Releasing a much requested army like the Squats, that's not even enough for me right now. It feels like a cynical and nostalgic cash grab. Because of course, finally, we must discuss the cost. These guys are gonna be expensive. It's inevitable. When any army gets an update, the prices for that army go up. Now, how expensive is an army gonna get if it's being updated for the first time in about 30 years? Sorry, that was just the sound of a million executives screaming. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and the prices will only go up about 100%. What's that, £4 a model? Yeah, if we could be so lucky. We got a cost of living crisis, we got fuel price increases. Everybody's struggling right now. This is a golden opportunity for Games Workshop to raise the prices even further. Think of the excuses they could bring. Oh, the cost of oil has gone up. Games Workshop, you've already raised your price for that. The cost of oil has gone up. The clever Games Workshop executives are not going to waste this opportunity. No, no. And speaking of updating a faction, these sculpts are very likely going to be Monopoles. Oh boy. My thoughts on this are well documented. Mostly my thoughts are, I hate it. And though I'm fine for beginner armies to have maybe some easy to build options, I think that could work for squats. It's still important to me that miniatures are able to be customized by people assembling them. And it's really important to me that beginner armies have that option too. Because new hobbyists need to learn that these miniatures are all yours. They are to be personalized, not necessarily just to follow some instructions. They should be built as you want to build them. We should be inspiring a whole new generation of kit-bashing modelists. But these guys are more than likely gonna be follow the instructions, no matter the cost. I wish I was excited for squats. I wish I was as happy as some people likely are that they're returning. And I don't want to yuck in their yum here, but GW have burned way too many bridges with me for me just to be blindly excited about this. I know what their priorities are now, and it's not to make a fun faction. Sorry, it's not. But I hope that they surprise me. And hey, if they do, I'll link a video right here so you can check that out. And if they don't, I'll link a video explaining why Warhammer isn't a luxury. It has pineapples in it. And if you want to support the channel, why not check out my Patreon at patreon.com/discourseminiatures. There you can get access to ad-free videos as well as exclusive live streams. Ooh! And a big thanks to my patrons, especially Steven Jackson and Earthwormia. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye! Games Workshop, Delenda Est.